Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD StarCraft and I'm here to bring you guys another game of WhiteRa from the WhiteRa Special Tactics 2.0 replay pack. A lot of the pro players right now are releasing awesome replays of themselves playing in Heart of the Swarm. It looks like he's going to be playing against a wait a minute. Oh, it's not a Terran, it's a Zerg, and, Illusion, I was going to say it is a Terran because Illusion is a Terran player, a very popular up-and-coming Terran, in fact, but I guess for this game he's going to be playing Zerg, and I can't really fault him for that because a lot of guys have been mentioning under the table that they want to switch to Zerg, given that Zerg have all the newest toys here in Heart of the Swarm. But, I mean, it is Heart of the Swarm, man. It is the expansion for the Zerg players. I mean, you'll just have to wait if you're a Protoss for Legacy of the Void. I think that's when you're going to get your Reavers and your, I don't know what other units Blizzard might come up with. But for now, it is Swarm Host action time. And, of course, Swarm Hosts have been recently nerfed along with the Warhound. But deservedly so. I think Blizzard kind of realized that these units are just doing a little bit too much. And so they have gotten kind of hit with the nerf stick a few times. Anyways, down in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have Illusion, or maybe it's Illusion's friend, playing as Zerg here. And over in the top left-hand corner, we do have the blue Protoss player, and that is WhiteRa. And PVZ one more time here. I like this map too. I believe this one is called Acheron Wastes. And it's a nice map. The reason why I like it, it's just a good old 1v1 fashion map. Kind of reminds me a little bit about Blistering Sands and how you had like the bottom, well, I guess the spawn points aren't exactly the same, but for whatever reason, it does remind me of Blistering Sands. And I always kind of liked that map. It was a bit of a shame to see it go ever since it gained a lot of popularity in the beta, and then of course the maps all evolved into massive maps like Cloud Kingdom, Daybreak, and Tal'Darim Altar and all that good stuff. But anyways, here we've already seen a lot of games with Protoss featuring WhiteRa and him combating Zerg, and it certainly seems like WhiteRa's been having a lot of problems dealing with the Swarm Hosts. Now, whoa, wait a minute, interesting. Illusion here is actually going for a hatchery before spawning pool. That is pretty intriguing. Usually most Zergs don't get the hatchery before pool because of the threat of photon cannon harass, but the interesting thing here is because most Protoss players now are opening up one gateway expand instead of going Forge Fast expand. I guess it kind of negates the threat of photon cannon harass, and now Zergs are able to once again throw a hatchery before pool. That's a very interesting evolution, or de-evolution if you will, of the meta game of StarCraft 2 in Heart of the Swarm. And if you guys are wondering why are Protoss players not going Forge Fast Expand anymore, it's because most Protoss players now want to get the Mothership Core out. And if you go Forge Fast Expo or if you go Nexus first, you don't get enough of the required gas in order to get that early Mothership Core out on the field. Now, that actually brings me to a conversation I've been having with DeMuslim and with Destiny. And of course, none of those guys are Protoss players, but they kind of feel like going for the Mothership Core actually sets Protoss back a bit, and Protoss should be going with Nexus first or Forge Fast Expand because, honestly, what does the Mothership Core give you except the early base defense, which against Zerg really isn't that necessary, and it gives you the ability to energize your Nexus, which I guess unlimited Chrono Boost is kind of nice, but some players are starting to argue that instead of having the extra Chrono Boost energy, getting the second Nexus up faster is better. And I can kind of see that viewpoint as well. But I think if you go for an Oracle, or if you open up Stargate, which I think is feasible against Zerg, unlike its unfeasibility against Terran. I talked about that in the last game. I don't think Stargate openings work very well against Terran because of the Warhound Marine attack. But against Zerg, they do. And if that's the case, and if you're going for a quick Oracle, then getting the quick Mothership might not be a bad idea. Why? Because you can energize that Oracle and give it full energy, and you can start to entomb mineral fields, and that can be pretty annoying for a Zerg player. And Zerg doesn't really have a way to respond with a massive attack like Warhound Marine. I mean, sure, they can go roaches, but photon cannons still kind of mess that up, and I guess the Mothership Core kind of helps defend in that response and in that regard as well. And yeah, a little bit of metagame evolution here in Heart of the Swarm. WhiteRa pushing out with these early Stalkers. And, that's the advantage of going with the Naniwa style gateway first. You get early Stalkers on the field. Actually forces Illusion here to throw a Crawler. But there are two Queens there. I don't know if he needed the Crawler, but there is a Proxy Pylon coming up. Does WhiteRa have 4 gates total? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gateways right now. Gonna go for a 5-gate pressure. And this is off of 2 base, so by no means is it all in, but it is designed here to do a lot of damage, or perhaps force the Zerg to stay on 2 bases for longer than he would like. And more Zealots warping in right now for WhiteRa. He actually might want to wait for another cycle of units before he begins this engagement. He also has saved up enough energy for a Mothership recall, or he should in about 5 seconds. 147, 148, 149, and 150. All right, now we have enough for a mass recall. So if WhiteRa gets in a sticky situation here, he can bring his forces out. Now, what is Illusion preparing to do in the background here? He has an Infestation Pit. No Evolution Chambers. I do believe Illusion is going to try to go for a 2-hatch Swarm Host attack. But WhiteRa's already coming in with a 5-gate pressure. And this might be more than Illusion can handle. This Crawler here is going to go down very quickly. He doesn't have enough energy for a Transfuse. And the Spine Crawler has fallen. Illusion now has to pull back into his mineral fields, and now the sentries can perma-field the ramp, so any reinforcements will have to come out of the natural hatchery to help defend. A lot of drones will go down here in the effort to defend the base. In fact, actually only 1 drone has gone down, 2 drones now. Illusion doing a magnificent job of just main-arming the workers in between the mineral patches and keeping them alive. You'll notice that a lot of these drones have taken damage, but only 2 have fallen. And now Swarm Host trying to burrow on the high ground. They can't get down there, neither can their Locusts. So WhiteRa will still have to rely on reinforcements from only the natural hatchery. Will he have enough? More drones may go down this time. Only 5 so far have fallen, but the Swarm House have gone down the ramp. And Illusion might have just gotten a huge lucky break, as WhiteRa might have just lost track of his sentries, did not keep the force field on the ramp. And the 5-gate pressure should be held off now that the Locusts and the Swarm House have gotten down to the low ground. Very nice hold by Illusion. And overall, you have to consider that was a 5-gate timing pressure by WhiteRa. And Illusion held that off and only lost 5 drones? That's a very, very good drone micro. If it was me, I would have probably lost like half of my drones at my natural at this point. But Illusion kept them alive just using a very nice kind of a transfer trick with his workers. And what is WhiteRa going for? After the 5-gate pressure, I really like this. He isn't going... He's going for a Stargate here, and he's making a Void Ray, but does he have an Oracle on the field? I don't believe so. No, he doesn't. But I like how he's transitioned into Stargate play. You know, most Protoss in Wings of Liberty, they would need a robotics facility because you need observers to deal with anything like burrowed units like burrowed roaches or burrowed swarm hosts. But what WhiteRa has said here is, you know what? I don't need a robotics facility for observers. I'm going to go for a Stargate, and yeah, there comes the Oracle. So the Oracle does have an ability to detect cloaked units in a certain area for a limited amount of time. So it essentially acts as an observer of its own, allowing Protoss to deviate from robotics tech. And I really like this, man. WhiteRa also, you know, by going with the 5-gate pressure, he's been able to bolster his ground army with a lot of units, and he won't be vulnerable to some type of massive ground attack. And, you know, this is a very, very unique build by WhiteRa, who now has energized this Oracle. You'll note it was energized right next to the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core and an Observer are here, so it does look like WhiteRa had a robotics regardless. I'm not too sure where it was. Okay, it's inside the main base. He's even got a fleet beacon too, and he's going for Tempests. Oh, WhiteRa, you are crazy. And he's going to go in here now, going to use Preordain and going to use an Entomb Field. So now he gets maximum vision over this area, as well as being able to just really harass this the mineral fields as well, and dropping the Zerg income as Illusion tries to get rid of that. I don't think actually he used Preordain. He might have ended up using Revelation instead, just to reveal enemy units in the target area, because Preordain would leave some type of an energy field here that you can actually visibly see. But no, he didn't use it. Let's see. No, he has no vision of the base. So I think he just used the detect cloaked units, but you know, there wasn't really any need to. He might have clicked the wrong hotkey by accident. But we do now have the Tempest coming out from WhiteRa. This is such a clever build by WhiteRa, man. The 5-gate pressure designed to put the Zerg back on the ground, and then going into Stargate play and utilizing the Oracle and using the Tempest. And you know what? This should theoretically work very well against Swarm Hosts, because you've got the Observer for detection, you've also got the Oracle for detection and harass, and you've got the Tempest. And Tempests are really good against Swarm Hosts due to their massive range, their ability to hit the the Swarm Host from a very far range away. And the clever thing here is you don't need an Observer permanently spawning. You just need to run the Oracle in there and cast a spell one time and you get permanent vision. And it looks like this time he will use the Preordain ability on that structure. So WhiteRa gets maximum vision here, and he's using Preordain to give himself vision so that Tempest can have maximum range. WhiteRa, you are so clever. And now this hatchery is under siege from very far away. And you know what? There is no way for Illusion to cancel the Revelation. Not the Revelation, but the Preordain. This vision is permanently granted until the structure dies or until the spell ends. And the spell lasts for about a minute. So this is just nasty play by WhiteRa, and Illusion has got his hands full right now. He will have to use Transfuses to help keep this hatchery alive, and he's trying to bring Hydras around the back here. Illusion not too happy about the Tempest. He's trying to get Hydras in position, and he cannot get any units here. It looks like the Tempests are now refocusing their fire on the Hydras. He does manage to get the Oracle, and if Preordain wears out here, then he might actually stand a shot of keeping this hatchery alive, because of course, once Preordain ends, the vision of this hatchery has ended as well. And WhiteRa's Tempest will not be able to strike this hatchery down, but I don't know, man, this hatchery is getting pretty low. It's in the red, it's under 300, a Transfuse comes down to keep the hatchery alive. Illusion knows how much and how important this hatchery truly is, and finally, Preordain has ended. Now the Tempests are going to get closer. Gotta be careful though. There are two queens here, but Void Rays are backing up the Tempest as well. The Spore Crawler now being called in to help out to defend this hatchery, but the hatchery is very low. It's at 100 HP, it's at 45 HP, it's going to go down. And WhiteRa's Tempest play, just beautifully designed strategy, takes out Illusion's third base. And now Illusion has to claim a new base over on the top left-hand side. But that was a devastating blow, and, you know, I know Illusion, yeah, he's going for mass Overlord drop here. I was going to say, I know he's got a lot of Swarm Hosts, but where are they? And now I know where they are. They're up in the air. So it looks like Illusion's going to go for an Overbomb. But there's a Zealot, and no Zerg moves this many Overlords together like that. It is not Overlord migration season right now, and WhiteRa knows it, man. He's gonna go poaching for these Swarm Hosts and whatever else he can find, and he's moving everything in position. He's actually hitting some of the empty Overlords first. It looks like he might get one of the full ones, losing a couple of Zerglings there. Illusion has to unload everything, or just unloading some of the units so they don't die, and now going to try to unload the rest inside the third base of the Protoss. Going to get those Swarm Hosts burrowed down, and will Illusion have enough forces to do damage here? Rando Zealot going to die to a Mutalisk, and Vortex comes in. WhiteRa has created a mothership, and everything on the ground just got sucked in, except the Swarm Hosts on the very edge of the Gravity Vortex. And as soon as those Locusts come out, it looks like the Vortex just ended. All the Hydras are clumped up right now, but there isn't any Archons in range, but a second Vortex comes in. Oh my god, WhiteRa is just using the Vortex and the Tempest to take out all the Swarm Hosts that are remaining outside of the Vortex, and all of these units are going down to WhiteRa's siege attack. Look at how many Tempests he's got on the field. And now that the Hydras are out, I really don't think it's going to be enough to even take out this mothership. It will not be. And it seems like Swarm Hosts aren't so OP after all. I mean, they're still pretty damn good, but as of right now, WhiteRa just showing how to shut down that type of play. There are some Roaches coming around on the left-hand side, but all these Tempests here should be able to make mincemeat of these Roaches given enough time. There are some Zealots also coming in from WhiteRa on the right-hand side, so WhiteRa dishing economy damage wherever he can. And this is the kind of WhiteRa that I know we all love to see. Illusion has got to get his things together if he's going to take out WhiteRa, but look at how many Tempests are on the field. There is a total of 10 Tempests right now. And they are just blasting everything away. And when you have a unit up in the air, 10 of them, that have 22 range, what in the world as a Zerg player can you do? I mean, I guess you can make Corruptors, but that's what happens when you make Corruptors. They just melt before they can get in range. And I think maybe Burrowed Infestors would work. But at this point, it doesn't look like Illusion's got enough gas to make anything else. He is constricted on 3 mining bases. WhiteRa himself is on 3 mining bases fully. And, you know, the economy right now looking pretty good for WhiteRa as well. He's still sending Zealots on the edge of the map and trying to get them inside this base. And, you know what, Illusion just, he won't, I don't know how he's going to hold off the Tempest. That's the main problem here. He might be able to handle these Zealots, and he should, with the roaches he's got on the ground, but what in the world will he do with regards to all these Tempests? And he is researching muscular augments right now, which actually might not be a bad idea. If he can get a lot of speed Hydralisks, and I'm talking about a lot of speed Hydras, and just run them up D-Day style, you know, the front ones will die, but the rest will finally get there and get underneath these Tempests, then maybe he's got a shot at taking out this massive sky-tossed fleet from WhiteRa. But that is a shot in the dark, man. I have serious concerns about Illusion's ability to maintain his economy. He's actually got a lot of Vipers here as well. He might look to use the Abduct ability on these Tempests, but I have serious concerns as well about the Tempest being able to abduct the Vipers before they get shot down. This is going to be an old-fashioned dogfight here. Here comes Illusion's Vipers. But WhiteRa's got so many Tempests, he's making Archons as well. And kind of a lull right now in the game as the action has died down just a bit, but as soon as any units really get within the circular range of these Tempests, it's all over. Here comes Illusion! He yanks the Mothership, and I think all his Vipers just got Vortex. I don't know, they just disappeared, man. They didn't really do much other than yank this Mothership out of the way, and the Mothership has died. Now, there's a lot of units in that Vortex. WhiteRa's got to be careful. Don't let his units get sucked in there because I believe there's a lot of... Oh, there's Archons as well. All right, and there weren't any Hydras in there, so eventually all these Roaches are going to die too to all these Tempests. And WhiteRa, what are we going to do with you, man? You're just going to make Protoss look so good that Blizzard is never going to buff Protoss. It looks like Illusion now on the full-on retreat. He's scurrying and scampering his roaches away, man. The Zerg is now in full fear of the new Protoss air capital ship. That is the Tempest. Illusion now finally making some Hydras, but it might be a little too late. Some drones trying to Maynard their way to the top right, but they are going to be greeted by a wall of Zealots. And yeah, man, I don't know. Tempests, are they better than Carriers? Watching this game, they are pretty damn awesome. Count on WhiteRa to make some of the new units work no matter what, and I think that is going to be GG. WhiteRa concludes, and I guess he agrees with the comment made by Illusion. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, another game brought to you guys by WhiteRa, and of course your broadcaster, HD. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check me out. I'm on YouTube at HD StarCraft, and be on the lookout. In the next few days there will be a HOTS beta tournament casted by Pain User and myself. I'll have an announcement video coming up on my channel. We've got Thorzane, we've got WhiteRa, we've got Suppy, we've got DeMuslim, we've got the best players, even Cats and Destiny are going to be playing as well, so be on the lookout for that. I'll have more information coming soon, but for now, this is HD StarCraft, and I'm signing out.